Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. I want to talk about this year's Scammies. Did y'all enjoy it? Well, I didn't. The Grammys were just the Grammys. You know, I'm not really super excited about the Grammys like that, but since it is the biggest night in music, we have to talk about it. And I first want to start off positive because there were a lot of positive moments. I was really happy to see a lot of the newer Black female artists get recognized this year because it was just great to see. Coco Jones won Best R&B Performance for her song I See You, and it was very well deserved because I See You is a classic song to me. And Coco is very deserving of this award. She has worked hard. She's put together a good music project. She deserves it. She deserves everything that she has worked hard for. So I'm really happy to see that she won a Grammy. Also, I'm happy for the artist Tyla. She actually won her first Grammy for Best African Music Performance for her song Water. And that is a huge accomplishment because she is pretty new in her career. She's been out for a couple of years, but she has already reached international status and now she won her first Grammy. So that is a huge accomplishment. And some people kind of feel like maybe she shouldn't have beat out artists like Burna Boy or Davido or Asake and Ira Star because they are technically bigger artists in the Afrobeat world. But I think Tyla's song Water definitely made a bigger splash internationally than the other songs that she was up against. So I do think she deserved the award. But if you want to be technical, they all deserve it. But you know, you have to pick one winner. Now, moving on, I want to talk about Victoria Monet. I feel like this year's Grammys was definitely Victoria's Cinderella moment. For years, Victoria has been largely overlooked in the music industry, and she's been kind of designated to be a background artist. Like, she would write songs for other artists, but she would never be the face of a hit song. But this time around, she has now made a name for herself, and her album Jaguar 2 won a Grammy for Best R&B Album. She also won a Grammy for Best New Artist, which is a huge feat. Technically, she's not new, but since this is the first time that her work has been submitted to the Grammys, and Jaguar 2 is technically her first official album. Her other music projects prior to that were just mixtapes. With all that considered, the committee decided that she was a new artist, but she is very deserving of these awards and she should have performed at the Grammys. I don't know why she wasn't able to perform, but she definitely should have gotten a chance to be up on that stage since she was one of the most nominated artists of the night. But people like to play in Victoria's face, so I don't know. Now, moving on, let's talk about SZA. I have to give it up to SZA because she also won several awards. She won Best Progressive R&B Album for her album SOS. She also won Best R&B Song for her song Snooze. And she won a Grammy for Best Pop Duo Performance with the artist Phoebe Bridgers for her song Ghost in the Machine. So SZA took home several Grammys tonight and I'm happy for her. I'm very happy for her. But I gotta keep it real here. SZA's album SOS should have won Album of the Year. It should have won. I don't think Taylor Swift should have won for Midnights because even though Taylor sold a lot of records, she just didn't have the same impact that SZA did. SZA was charting on the top 10 all of 2023. Several of her songs from SOS, including Kill Bill, Snooze, Good Days, they were all in the top 10. Several of her songs were #1 on radio for weeks. Her album was #1 on Billboard for 21 weeks. 21 weeks at #1. She had a longer run at #1 than Taylor did. So I think she should have won Album of the Year, but of course they weren't going to give it to a Black woman. It's very hard for Black artists, especially Black female artists, to win in those major categories like Album of the Year and Record of the Year and Song of the Year. So I should have known they weren't going to give it to SZA, but she definitely deserved Album of the Year. Now, as far as the Scammies performances are concerned, I wasn't really impressed. I felt like something was going on with the sound. I wasn't really here for the audio, but I do have to give Fantasia her 10s. 10s across the board. Fantasia did a Tina Turner tribute and she ate that per usual. I mean, if you ever seen Fantasia live, you already know that she's gonna deliver every single time. And I'll give an honorable mention to SZA, even though I wasn't crazy about her Snooze and Kill Bill performance. However, I did like her performance of Saturn, which I think is a new song of hers. Also, I thought Burna Boy did decent, and I like the fact that he brought Brandy out. Brandy was sounding good. But let's be clear, Fantasia stole the show. She stole the show. Now, I want to talk about some of the mess because the scammies are always doing something messy. First, let's talk about how they were trying to troll Nicki Minaj. The Grammys first tweeted that Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice won Best Rap Song for their song Barbie World, but they immediately deleted this tweet. Now, why did they do that? I think they were being messy, honestly, and they were trying to play in Nicki's face. It's almost as if they thought about giving it to her, but then they quickly retracted it, you know? Like, they were probably going to give it to Ice Spice, but they didn't want to give it to Nicki. Because, let's be real, the Grammys blackballed Nicki. Nicki was first blackballed because she pissed off the producer, Kenneth Ehrlich, because she performed the song that he didn't want her to. And then when Kenneth stepped down from the Grammys, the Grammy committee still was snubbing Nicki and they wouldn't vote for her songs. So it's very clear that she doesn't have a lot of favor in the industry, and she is up against certain entities and corporate giants who don't really want to see her win. Also, Drake and 21 Savage were snubbed for their project, Her Loss. And Drake had a few things to say about it. Now, you know, Drake is not really all that fond of the Grammys, and he spoke about it years ago when he actually won a Grammy. He was like, you know, this award doesn't really matter like that. And he pretty much reiterated those words again. He said, all you incredible artists, remember, this show isn't the facts. It's just the opinion of a group of people whose name are kept a secret. Literally, you can Google it. Congrats to anybody winning anything for hip hop, but this show doesn't dictate anything in our world. And I do have to say Drake is speaking facts, but the Grammys still do mean a lot to these artists because it holds weight in the music industry. It might not mean a lot to us, but it means a lot to these artists, which is why there's always so much conversation about who should win and who deserves to win and so forth and so on. Now, Killer Mike won pretty big. He won Best Rap Song, he won Best Rap Album, and he won Best Rap Performance. Some people were confused to see him sweep these categories, but I did hear that his album was good. So I'm not mad that he won at all, and I saw he was very excited. I mean, he got up on that stage, he almost did a praise dance. But as soon as he left the stage, he got arrested, y'all. He got arrested, y'all, and people are saying that he got arrested for stealing those 3 Grammys. But no, they said he got arrested because he got a little too aggressive with one of the security guards. Now, TMZ did post a video of this, and I didn't see where he knocked over the security like it was reported, but they say he got booked for battery on a citizen's arrest. And at first I thought this whole thing was a PR stunt because I was like, what? Like, who gets arrested after winning a Grammy? Like, what? I mean, how does this happen? Like, what is going on? But things went haywire and it really tainted his moment. And I hate that it had to happen to him because, you know, this is his first time in his career winning Grammys and he swept the major rap categories. So the fact that he had to leave the Grammys in handcuffs is crazy. Now, the drama didn't stop there. I mean, things got messier when Jay-Z got up on that stage and he called out the Grammys for snubbing Beyonce from the Album of the Year category. I mean, he was throwing shade. I mean, he was on one. He was really, really on one. And I don't know where the energy came from, but I do believe something happened behind the scenes because I noticed that Jay-Z canceled his Rock Nation Grammy brunch, and I believe Beyonce even pulled out of the Tina Turner tribute because it was initially announced that she was going to perform, but that could have been a lie as well. They probably just used her name to get some ratings, you know? But something must have happened behind the scenes that really agitated the Carters because Jay-Z was upset. Now, he was honored with the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award, so I think this was a special award given to him. It probably was an award to pacify him and to get him and Beyonce to show up, but Jay-Z wasn't too happy. He called out the Grammys. This is what he said.
We want y'all to get it right. We love y'all. We love y'all. We love y'all. We want y'all to get it right, at least get it close to right. I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won album of the year. That doesn't work. You know, some of you gonna go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed. Some of you may get robbed. Some of you don't belong in the category. Oh, no, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, this gagged me a little bit. This was so freaking messy. This was so messy. I mean, the spirit of Kanye just hopped on Jay-Z and he decided to say what he really felt. Now, I know a lot of people were saying, yes, Jay, you better stand up for your wife. You better call the Grammys out. It seemed like everybody was applauding this, but I'll be honest with you, I was a little uncomfortable and I could see Beyonce's face and she looked uncomfortable. I don't think she wanted Jay-Z to say that. I don't think she wants to look desperate, to be honest. I mean, it kind of seems a little desperate when you've won 32 Grammys and you're still upset about not winning this one album of the year Grammy. Like, who cares? Like, you're Beyonce, you're a legend. Like, who cares if you don't win it? Even though I believe she should have won it, she definitely should have won it for Lemonade. She wanted that award and she deserved it, but I don't think Beyonce wants to be out here begging for it. At least she doesn't want to look like she's begging for it, and Jay-Z kind of put her on the spot. So it was awkward, and even Blue Ivy was kind of looking at him like, what are you talking about, daddy? Like, she looked so confused. It was just an awkward moment. And while it seemed like Jay-Z was taking a stand and bucking the system, I can guarantee you he pissed a lot of these elites off. Some of these old white men with power don't want to see a black man talking like that. I mean, that looks arrogant to them. So I don't know. I think Jay-Z got to be careful because he probably started some mess with this whole speech. And we all caught the shade when he said some of you all don't belong in the category. Now, who could he have been talking about? I don't know who he was talking about. He could have been talking about anybody, but I kind of feel like this might have been a little shade towards Taylor Swift. Taylor did win Album of the Year, and I believe she broke the record for winning the most Album of the Year awards in Grammy history, which is a really huge accomplishment, but it's also a constant reminder that the industry will always place Taylor above Beyonce. And it's starting to become more evident now than ever. I mean, Taylor and Beyonce are constantly pitted against each other, and people constantly elevate Taylor and diminish Beyonce. I mean, it's crazy. Beyonce is a legend. She's one of the greatest performers of all time. She put in the work. Why does she even have to be compared to somebody like Taylor Swift, who's a different type of artist than she is? Well, the reason why they're comparing her is because Taylor is being ushered in as the new queen of music, and we are seeing this happen in real time. Beyonce held that title and she was held to that esteem, but she's getting shoved out the way for Taylor. And this is why you're seeing all of these comparisons, and this is why you're seeing Taylor now uplifted as the new standard. And the industry is going to continue to back Taylor because she makes them so much money. She makes them way more money than Beyonce does. So it's an interesting thing to see, but sorry for diverting from the whole topic, but I do want to talk a little bit about Taylor snubbing Celine, because a lot of people noticed that when she accepted the Album of the Year award, she walked up on that stage and did not acknowledge Celine Dion. The Celine Dion. Now, first and foremost, I was so happy to see Celine. I was so happy because I did hear that she had some health problems. And so it was really nice to see her. She's one of my favorite singers of all time, one of the greatest of all time. She's in that elite class with Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey. So she's just one of my favorite vocalists. But I did notice that Taylor did not pay attention to Celine at all, and people had an issue with it. They were calling her out on social media about it. Look at some of these comments. Celine, honestly wish you handed the award to someone who acknowledged your greatness. What a low moment. Another person said Taylor didn't even hug or say hi, acting, jumping up and down like a schoolgirl. Seriously, is she still surprised she won? The way Taylor just ignored her was crazy. Taylor's reaction when getting the award from the very hands of iconic Celine Dion was very rude. She totally ignored her. Classless. Taylor, you are no one next to Celine. Show a little respect. Swift didn't even acknowledge the real queen. Why? I'm actually a huge Taylor Swift fan, but tonight was very disappointing. Celine, you are a class act. It was shameful to see how Taylor Swift was so classless and rude to you. Celine has had serious life-changing health issues and looks like she is slowly recovering. She did not receive any sort of acknowledgement or respect from Taylor, which really disappointed me. I mean, people were going in. They were not happy. They were not happy with Taylor at all. And Taylor did end up going back and taking a picture with Celine to calm down all the noise. That was really her PR team at work. You know, they don't play when it comes to Taylor's image. And it doesn't matter what criticism Taylor gets. She got people in the chokehold. People love Taylor. She is the new queen of music, apparently. But anyway, tell me what you all thought about this year's Scammies. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.